Hello. Yes, so last month we had the amazing opportunity of heading over to the Atlantic Hotel in Newquay, and we were broadcasting live for REACH at the Cornwall Dementia Conference. All exhibitors and guests had a wonderful time meeting with other like-minded colleagues within the sector, lots of whom who hadn't actually seen each other for a very long time, if at all. But with us today now in the Chaos Studios, we have Julie Cherry from REACH. Hello, thank you for joining us today, Julie.
Hi Ross, thank you for inviting me, and thank you so much for all your help with the Cornwall Dementia Conference. It was amazing to have Chaos there and be able to open it up to a much bigger audience. That was fantastic, thank you.
It was a fantastic day. We will delve fully into the conference in a little bit, but yeah, it was just such a good time. But we've got you here today, and we're going to be delving into all the amazing things that REACH get up to. So I want to kick off by talking a bit about yourself and about REACH. So you are the ESF project coordinator for REACH. So can you tell us a little bit about your role and about REACH in general?
Of course, yeah. So REACH Cornwall started in, the project first formed in August 2018 and we launched it in November 2018, and at that time I was the marketing and events assistant for the project, and Jenny Gramnes was the project coordinator. She went on maternity leave just over a year ago, and I've been covering her maternity leave, but she's now coming back to a different role, which means I now stay in the project coordination role, which is lovely.
Amazing.
So I'm the only original person from the project team left. But REACH Cornwall, what we do, so we work, since 2018, we've worked with social care and healthcare providers to find out what their training needs are and to develop and deliver training to fit those needs. And then since September 2020, we've been part of the ESF, the European Social Fund Business Clusters project. And since that time, we've also worked with early years providers in addition to social care and healthcare. All of the training that we pilot through workshops, webinars, short courses, longer programs, it's all funded, so it's all offered free of charge in return for some feedback. Wow. And we develop what we are told by people working in these sectors is needed. So that's a little bit about what we do.
Fantastic. And obviously, like you touched on there, we know that you support people, those who are in health and social care. Who are the main sort of service users then that you sort of deal with within REACH? Okay,
because of the way we're funded, we're actually funded to work with small to medium-sized enterprises, so who are eligible to receive European social funding, because we're part funded through the European Social Fund, and the project's delivered through Truro and Penwith College. So primarily, it's been people working in care homes and domiciliary care services that we've worked with. I think perhaps because their training needs are greater. I mean, obviously they are a good fit for us because they tick the SME category, or a lot of them do. But I think their training needs are greater because we work in collaboration with a lot of the NHS health trusts, and develop training with them, and people from those trusts also attend some of the training and events that we put on, but they often have their own internal training available, whereas individual standalone businesses and organisations often don't have that resource available to them. So we've been able, through the project and all the organisations that we've worked with, we've to deliver training, we've been able to try and meet a little bit of that need that is out there.
Great. And I suppose as well, like, especially here in Cornwall, there must be such a vast amount of training in different sectors that you kind of have to cover. Like, do you have sort of any examples of the kind of training that is provided? Because I know obviously you've got to have your fingers in almost lots of different pies. Like, we'll talk about the Cornwall Dementia Conference in a minute, but like dementia care training and other sort of training you provide as well?
Yeah, well, we've covered lots of topics over the what is it, nearly 4 years now that we've been going. The one that we've had the most interest in actually is around end of life care. So obviously when somebody's terminally ill and it's getting close to that time, the kind of support they receive, I think it's something people only have one shot at, and there's a lot of interest in trying to get that right. So we ran an event at the Eden Project to launch a passport to support people with delivering end-of-life care, and we had an enormous amount of interest for that, and we had a lot of people wanting to come in their own time, even on a Friday evening, to come and attend, because they just wanted to be more knowledgeable and to feel more confident. So that's one of the things we've done. Throughout lockdown we delivered most of our training online, so we did lots of webinars covering topics such as end-of-life care, oral health. We did a series on oral health actually with Chaos, or at least one of the series was with Chaos. More recently, as well as the Dementia Conference in May, we also ran a workshop the following week looking at modifiable risk factors for falls and managing falls. So that was about how you can try and reduce the prevalence of falls. You're never probably going to be able to completely eliminate them, but hopefully try and reduce some of those factors that lead to falls. And this one particularly focused on movement and building up movement and strength to help with that. And it also demonstrated some chairs that can be used to help get people off the floor. So I think that was a great confidence builder for people.
That sounds brilliant. I mean, we knew you were a busy lady, but that in itself just sounds like you guys at REACH obviously cover such a large area as well. Let's talk a little bit about the Dementia Conference. It was such a fantastic day. Obviously, I can't believe it's already been like a month since it happened. What were your thoughts and sort of feedback from the day?
Oh, we had some amazing feedback from people, which was so lovely. We had one of the comments that came through from Chaos TV, from the live stream, was something like, that has to go down as the best morning to a conference ever, which is fantastic. We with the conference, for anybody that wasn't able to watch, we took the decision to focus on creative approaches to dementia care that weren't medical. So it was, we opened with a theatre group called Halo Theatre, who were absolutely amazing, and I think they just really brought to life one very human story and the very human side of dementia, and made it very real for everybody. And then we had speakers and workshops from the Sensory Trust, from another theatre group covering art for dementia. You're testing me now, trying to remember everything. Yeah, there was lots of very creative approaches, and it was all developed with the Cornwall Partnership Dementia Board. So it wasn't just REACH Cornwall, it was a partnership, and it was about 7 months in the planning.
Wow. I bet that night when you got home you must have poured yourself a drink and just thought, I can relax now, because people don't often realise how much time and effort and planning goes into these events. But I'm sure you and yourself and Amanda must have been relieved that evening.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Huge relief, because that was the biggie, and we'd gone down to being just a team of 2. It was just myself and Amanda Thompson, who's the ESF curriculum developer. We were at one time a team of about 5 or 6, so it was a lot to take on as a very tiny team. So yeah, an enormous relief. It went well, and just so lovely to be able to do things like that again, and to hear all that lovely feedback and how much people enjoyed it and how much they got from it.
Yeah, because I think it's often that stigma, isn't there? When you hear the words conference or something, you think, it already makes you want to yawn, almost in the sense of, you think you're just going to be sat around listening to very clinical. But the fact that this main focus was creative, people were moving around between the workshops, there was some fantastic speakers and guests that were really getting people interactive as well, which is so important. And the whole day, even as Chaos, we loved being involved with it. And yeah, there was just lots going on. And even on the comments that people were coming in online, the amount of people that were saying, I've got to be there next time if you are planning a next one, who knows? But people were saying, I'd love to be there. Shame I missed it, kind of thing. So.
Yeah, well, the board, the Cornwall Partnership Dementia Board, are planning to hold another conference next year, and we've said we'll be involved. I don't think we're going to take the lead on it next year, but hopefully there will be another conference and people will have the opportunity to come along.
Fantastic. And we touched there on Halo and some of the other amazing guest speakers. There was just so much going on. I particularly like the discussions around music therapy, and we obviously had Helen and Pat from iCare I Move there as well. Sometimes it just takes someone else to sort of, it's talking about those things that are sort of outside the box, isn't it? And there's so many creative ways for people to learn and support with dementia care.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things I found fascinating, and it's so obvious when somebody says it, but you need somebody to say it sometimes, and that was around having conversations with people with dementia and being in the moment. So don't go, do you remember such and such? Or we did so and so, or what do you want to do? You go, you see that's happening now, and start them on a conversation on something they can see that's happening in that moment. And it's so obvious, isn't it, when somebody says it, but you don't necessarily think about it, and you think, wow, that's, so powerful.
And these events are perfect for networking as well. I imagine you must have mingled and gone around and met so many amazing people and businesses and whoever, but it's a great opportunity for people to connect and learn from each other, because like we say, communication is the most important thing, isn't it? Absolutely.
It was lovely to create that opportunity for people to be able to come and do that again. Because, I mean, technology has been amazing as a way of keeping in touch with people, but it's not the same.
Yes.
And the thing for us that was fascinating was we'd planned this, we'd taken this whole kind of 7 months planning and had endless kind of meetings online with people building up to it, but we'd never met Halo in person. I'd never met anybody from the Cornwall Partnership Dementia Board in person prior to the event, prior to the day. So it was so lovely to, after having spent kind of 6 months working with these people, creating this, it was so lovely to actually meet them in person.
Yeah, it was a great day, and I want to sort of move on a little bit to what is coming up next for REACH. I can imagine you're already busy preparing for the future. So what's happening at REACH next?
Okay, thank you. Well, we've got a couple of things coming up that I'd love to let people know about. This Thursday, we've got some funded taster sessions for supported self-management, which is with Deborah O'Nions. Now, that's exploring person-centred care, and it's looking at ways that health and care services can encourage, support and empower people to manage their ongoing physical and mental health conditions themselves. This is going to be at Haven House Conference and Training Centre, where we're based on Key Street in Truro. People can either come for the morning session, which is from 9 to midday, or for the afternoon from 1 to 4. We're providing lunch for people as well. So this is for people working in social care or healthcare that want to find out a little bit more. It is just a taster session. It's free of charge because of the funding we receive. We have had a lot of interest, particularly in the morning session, but unfortunately a few people we've had a few last minute cancellations because of the nature of the providers we work with. They plan to come and do something, and then suddenly they're short staffed and they're not able to come and attend training. So we've got a few sessions left for the morning, and about half the places for the afternoon. So if anybody is interested, they can either give us a call on 01872 305 621, or they can email us healthandcare@truro-penwith.ac.uk. So that's happening this Thursday. We've got lunch ordered for 30, so it'd be lovely to have a full set, set of people for that. And then the following week, we've got the second in a series of 3 webinars with Dr. Sharon Eustace, who is the consultant nurse at the Bowel and Bladder Specialist Service run by Cornwall Partnership NHS Foundation Trust. And this is going to be looking at continence awareness, because it's World Continence Week from the 20th to the 26th of June.
Right.
So the first webinar we did with Sharon was back in February, and she is so knowledgeable and so passionate about the subject. And we had I think we had about 100 people register. We had about 50 or so people come and watch the webinar on the day, and we got some amazing feedback and a lot of interaction with Sharon. I think it gave people a real opportunity to ask questions. So that was absolutely fantastic. So we'd love to have, you know, because it's a webinar, there's no limit on numbers, so we'd love to have as many people as possible. I was having a little look through the list, and obviously most people are based in Cornwall, but we have got people from around the UK that registered. We've got a couple of people from Jersey, we've got somebody from Brazil, somebody from the USA. So we seem to have got a little bit of an international audience, but it is primarily aimed and designed for people working in healthcare and social care in Cornwall. So if people are interested in that, they can register via Eventbrite, and the link for that is reachcornwall.eventbrite.com. And we'd love to have you come and join us.
Sounds fantastic. And that's the nice thing about, I feel like that's maybe like a positive that's possibly come out of the pandemic, is the fact that events such as webinars and online events have become a lot more accessible. And like you said, you'd never be able to reach people in Brazil or anywhere else before to get involved with this. So that's kind of like a positive, isn't it, that's come out of doing these webinars.
Absolutely, and it does provide that flexibility, because obviously the taster sessions were running on Thursday. People can't come, they've missed it. Whereas with the webinars, we can record them, and you know, a lot of the webinars we put on our website, reachcornwall.org.uk. I didn't write that one down. I had to do that from memory. But we put a lot of our webinars on there, so people can, on our resource library page, so people can watch the playbacks in their own time if they aren't able to join us on the day, or if they just want a refresher and they want to go, oh, they said something brilliant about such and such, but I can't quite remember what it was. They can go and watch it again as many times as they want to. So yeah, it has been great. You know, we've loved being able to go back and do things in person, but we don't want to entirely overlook the opportunities that online learning offers as well.
Yeah, and obviously with the taster session in person this week, who can sort of get, is it anybody involved with health and social care who can get involved and
yeah,
follow?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, people don't have to belong to an SME. If they do, that allows us to count them towards our targets. That's a bonus for us, but at the end of the day, we want to be there to serve the sector. So anybody that's based in Cornwall that feels they would benefit from coming along, particularly if you're in a health or social care role, yeah, please do get in touch. And if we, you know, depending on how much additional interest we get, we will do our best to accommodate you.
Fantastic, brilliant stuff there. Well, Julie, thank you so much. And obviously we will remind all our viewers at home, we've got the contact details there for you guys at REACH, and for the upcoming events we will share those across social media for you as well. But yeah, lots of exciting things coming up. You've got taster sessions, webinar, obviously we're just coming down from the back of the Cornwall Dementia Conference, so it's an exciting time for REACH, lots going on.
Absolutely, and you know, lots happening in September as well, so maybe if you're happy for me to come back, I can come and tell you about some of that a bit nearer the time. Always lots going on, that's what we like to hear. Yeah. Brilliant stuff. Again, thank you so much for talking to us today, and thank you to everyone at REACH for the great work that you guys are all doing. And yeah, like I said, we will get you back at some point, or maybe we can nudge Amanda to get in on the act as well. She'll hate that, won't she? She will. Anyway, thank you so much. Thank you. And Pudge, back to you.
Thank you very much, Ross. A lovely interview there, and lovely to see Julie as well. Thank you very much to you both.